Hello and welcome to the Shift Key. I'm here with Isabella Greene. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Tiffany. It's a pleasure being here with you.
Good, good. So if you want to maybe give a short introduction about yourself.
I am a remote spiritual healer, mystic, and teacher, and a happiness coach living in the magical Sedona. I started doing this work in 2011. It was my heart's passion that I decided to follow. Before that, I was in the financial services industry,
Oh, wow.
in corporate environment. Yeah, I live in the New York City. But then I realized that there was something much bigger and much more exciting for me to do. And I moved to Sedona, and here I became a healer. And now my practice is worldwide because all my work is remote, and I can reach my clients anywhere they are, and that gives us a beautiful experience in space.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. Great. So tell me about your remote healing. Is that something, a gift that you discovered that you had, or a technique that you learned?
I started as a coach, because I've always my whole life I remember that I was always helping people. People always came to me for suggestions or advice. People want to talk to you when they don't feel so great, and so I was always that person who always comforted everyone. And then I figured out that you can actually do this for a living. And I, yeah, and it's called life coaching, or I decided to specialize in happiness because my whole life, I've been searching for ways to be happy, and I had different ideas of how to do it. And I think I boiled it down to a system now. And so I'm a happiness coach, and that's how I started. And when I moved to Sedona in 2012, after a year of practicing as a happiness coach, and I had workshops already, and I had a following in New York, and the practice was going pretty well there. Um, when I came to Sedona, I realized that I wanted to also do uh, healing work as energy work, which I didn't know how. But when I was talking to my clients in person in New York, and I would move my hands around, they'd be like, "What was that? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it in my energy. You did something. What did you do?" And for me, it was like, "What did I do? I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing."
Wow.
Um, and when I came here in June in 2012, I did not know what to do. I just kept asking that question: How do I do energy work, and can I do it remotely? And then by September, I remembered being here in Sedona and meditating all the time and focusing on my spiritual journey. I remembered that I could do remote viewing when I was a kid. I was about 12 years old when I first realized that I could view my friends remotely
Wow.
when they were in different places, not in my house, and they were not even in the same town, and I could go and observe them. And then by the age of 17, we were kind of playing those games with my friends back in Russia. I had open-minded friends, and they'll be like, "Oh, let's remote view each other. What are you wearing?" Like meaning like, "What color are you wearing?" And you pick up on the color, and then they call you back and be like, "Yeah, I am wearing red," or whatever. So it was interesting. And here in Sedona, I remembered that. And then my mom, who is outside of the US, got ill. And I really wanted to help her. She was in the hospital, and I really wanted to help her. And I didn't know what or how I could help her, but I sat down and I started meditating. And for some reason, I started also chanting ohms and just making the like toning sounds and trying to see her. And all of a sudden, I was standing in that hospital room, like standing in the non-physical in that hospital room, and I could see her. And I whatever I did, I couldn't, explain in that moment what I did, but I just experienced seeing her energetic form and seeing her aura and seeing her higher self, and I experienced so much love, and I experienced such like strong intention to help her. And then I came back, meaning I came back into my body, and I made a phone call, and they told me that mom got up and recovered and went home. So I said, I need to figure this out for myself. How do I do this? And so a couple of days later, I had a friend who also had an injury back in a different state. And I did the same thing. I tried to repeat what I did with my mom, and it also worked. He got better, and I said, wow, I'm onto something here. And so I started practicing with different people, and I developed that skill. I don't specialize in physical healing. All you do, and I'm definitely by no means doing any like healing of the physical conditions here, but what I do is I connect with the higher self of that person, and I clear their energy field, and I bring all that cosmic love, the divine love, focus as a focus beam of that love into their field, and that makes an adjustment in their physical, emotional, and spiritual state of being, and that's why people are seeing results. So it's not that I am doing the work, I just learned how to become the channel and bring that love to them, and whatever needs to happen happens for them. So I've been doing it ever since that September, and now that's my official practice along with the coaching. So that's my story right there.
Wow, great. So what happens when someone comes to you for remote healing? What's the process?
um, I don't really need to meet that person. All I need to do is to see their picture, and we make a phone call. I talk to them, make sure that they're comfortable with the whole process, and then I receive their picture, and I need their full name, full birth name, because that's their energetic signature. That's the name that they came into this form with, even if they change their name still. Um, and then I focus, and we do a session. Usually it's done first thing in the morning. They just stay in the comfort of their own home, laying down. Uh, and I ask them to do nothing, just to relax or to get into meditative state. And those people who are able to get in the meditative state really experience incredible stuff, like a lot of visions, a lot of messages come through in different. Some people feel or see like they're traveling in space, or seeing other places, or sometimes like guides and guardians come in, or they're deceased relatives that are now their guides and guardians come in and give the love. And so people who are more open-minded and who are in the meditative state during the sessions, they see all that, and they see the same stuff as I do, which is fascinating. To when we get to on the phone to discuss that, it's like, whoa, did you see that? Yes, I did. Wow. So it's really exciting. But those who are not as comfortable and not as flexible and don't really know how it is to experience the energies, they just wake up and say, or they get up after the session and then say, wow, I feel so peaceful. I don't feel like I have any worries anymore. I'm feeling better. My thing was like something was hurting and now it's not. I feel so relaxed. I know I can do things now, or I feel so excited. I feel so energized. It's very, it depends on each individual. And then I sit down with them and have a conversation over the phone. That's a follow-up call. And those who take coaching, I also give them recommendations and suggestions of practices to do based on what I saw in their field. If their energy centers are blocked, I help them unblock them, but I also suggest practices as to what to do not to like clog them all over again right away. And also I have a program that helps people move out of their present state of being if they are unhappy, into a state of being where they can experience a higher vibrational living. So I have exercises I created and developed that I recommend. And I just basically, I work like an X-ray machine for your energy field.
Okay.
I look at the energetic states, and so I know what to recommend. It's very, again, it's very individual, so I create a separate program for each client. It's personalized that way.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been doing a lot of karmic clearing also recently, but that's a whole new process here.
Okay. Yeah, so could you mention your website and maybe some of the other programs and services that you offer?
Yes, my website is my name. That's www.isabellagreene.com. And we'll probably have that in the comments
Yeah.
here. That's where you can find me. I do a variety of services. I do divine love sessions for elderly and terminally ill, which prepares them for their transition, because during my sessions they experience that love and the light, and a lot of people see the tunnel, actually, that moment of transition becomes not so scary for them, and they transition in peace. So I offer that. I've done work with non-communicative and autistic children, because a lot of the times those are brilliant souls. Those are crystal children that they're coming into planet Earth, and they come in that form because they don't want to be conformed into 3D reality right now. And there's a lot of misunderstanding with the families. So I work with them, and I receive their messages, and I share that information with the family, and I also explain to the family how to interact and what's going on inside of those children that can't express themselves. I do that. I also recently created a new process of clearing karmic blocks and ancestral and parental trauma, and also personal trauma that stands in the way of people having successful, happy love life and relationships. We carry a lot of stuff that's our own, but we have a lot of stuff that is inherited. And I have created a process to help people clear that, and that's that's been what I've been doing the most within last couple of months. That's what people are coming to me the most. And then after we do that, for those who are interested for the next step, I also do milking the cash, which is basically bringing the gifts from past lives into this life for the person. So the person becomes aware of what gifts they have also, because we're so focused nowadays on past life trauma, all karmic lessons, all it's all always in a negative connotation here. But there were so many gifts, and there is so much knowledge also along with the trauma. So we clear the trauma, and for those who are interested in taking a look at their gifts and the knowledge. And for those who are comfortable to have the knowledge start trickling into this reality for them, I do specialized session for that as well, and it's fascinating for me personally. It's fascinating because I get to experience their state of being in other lifetimes, and for people here, it's fascinating because then they get back to me, start reporting to me, oh my God, I'm now doing intuitive writing. I'm now feeling this, or I'm seeing that, or all of a sudden I can do energy work, or so people report incredible changes, and that's very exciting too for me. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I read on your website too about starseed re-empowerment. That kind of ties in, doesn't that, as well with this?
Oh, it definitely, yes, and that's a whole different subject, because I've worked with a few kids that were between 15 and 19 years old, where the families were trying to push them into conventional lifestyle, a conventional education and conventional jobs, and they just can't do that. And so there is a lot of conflict with the families, and there is a lot of internal conflict, because they don't really know what they are. They don't know why they feel a certain way. They don't know why certain normal experiences here in 3D are so uncomfortable for them. And so we work on opening up that knowledge and bringing in the recognition of being a star seed, and so that they learn about themselves, and that makes it easier for them to understand where they're coming from, and why they are experiencing certain emotions and certain reactions, and why they cannot eat certain foods. And I also interact with their parents to explain, of course, like with the families who are open to that, to explain why, what their kids really are, that their kids are special kids, yeah, that they came here to planet Earth to assist the evolution, to be the next wave of that energy and the high vibrational lifestyle, and it does not always, or hardly ever actually, is in alignment with what the parents want from the kids. So I've been doing that work too. Yeah, because once you know who you are, where you're coming from, and why you feel a certain way, it makes it much easier for kids to deal with their school and the parents and the jobs and the college stuff and whatever that they just don't understand what's wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just a different type of being,
Right.
and that's why the old system doesn't really work, and the old energy does not really work.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Great. So let's talk about, you've recently written an article. It's called
Mhm.
25 Strange Symptoms People Are Experiencing Worldwide, which is very interesting. I myself have been experiencing a few of them. Not all, but especially you talked about heightened synchronicities and loss of time. And so if you
Yeah.
could talk about a few maybe of the most common ones and what you think is causing them.
Well, we are we're going through really powerful energetic shift right now as a collective, as the planet. In my experience, it really peaked in March, when we had the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse, and I was, I was getting so many emails from everywhere, people asking, what's going on with me? I feel weird. I feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm so emotional. I don't know what to do with myself. I can't decide what I want to eat. I can't decide. I can't sleep. I can't decide what I want to do with myself. And I was just taking notes, on that, because when many people from many walks of life, starting from like a CEO of a company or a corporation that is my client that I worked with, and ending here with my friends in Sedona, who are pretty what's called out there, and all having the same stories and the same symptoms. I said, wow, this is really interesting. So I started taking notes. And then I got an offer to publish my notes as an article in um, in a website that originates out of New York City, and it's belightliven.com. And so I didn't really worry much. I just put my notes together and send them over to that website, and all of a sudden we got 150,000 reads in a week. And then that article got picked up by but by a major metaphysical website that's called In 5D. and that got a few 100,000 reads also. And then, yeah, and I'm being told that that article is being shared everywhere. My mailbox is full. Every day, my mailbox is full with people just writing the same stuff, saying, I'm so grateful that I'm not losing my mind. I'm so grateful that I'm not alone and experiencing all this stuff. What I think the most interesting is timeline shifting. Like, why do we experience, why do we feel so out of focus, and we feel so disconnected from time, or what we know is time? And also sometimes you feel like you're in a motion picture, you know, like everything is moving around you, you're just like in that center floating above yourself and what's going on. Of course, like grounding really helps for that, but what's going on is our cells are getting adjusted to the new energies. We're bombarded with the energies, the cosmic energies that are forcing, they're pushing the evolution of consciousness onto planet Earth. And everyone is exposed to that, but the people who are sensitive and the people that are star seeds and the star children here on planet Earth, really uh, they really they can feel it actually way more than others. Like others might think, oh, I'm just in a bad mood, or I'm just being weird today, and just keep going about their day. But the people who are sensitive to energies, and the people who are here to assist that evolution by their presence, because we're receiving the energy and we're anchoring it here into the physical form, and then as your physical form is getting adjusted, your cells, that's why we sleep funny right now during this periods of time. During the adjustments, we have strange sleeping patterns, because the body needs to rest to integrate the energy. Once you integrated the energy and you had your upgrades in your own system, anywhere you go, you're emanating that same energy. So you're becoming like the ground crew here on planet Earth, assisting in evolution of consciousness. And just your presence alone, if you're standing in line next to someone in the store, for example, or you're talking to someone for 5 minutes somewhere in a coffee house, that affects them, affects their cells.
So sorry about that. We lost Isabella for a minute, but we're back. So I just wanted to see if you had any last thoughts about the energies coming in. You were talking about people that are sensitive, affecting everyone that's around them, even those that aren't aware of the changes going on right now.
Um, yeah, the main thing now for people is not to get too nervous about their symptoms, and to embrace what's going on, because what's happening with the symptoms is that we're getting our DNA upgraded, and we're getting our hardware, which is our bodies, upgraded, and parts of our brains actually activated that are responsible for what's called paranormal or supernatural abilities, which, the truth be told, they're very natural abilities. That's being a full entire human being. So at the end of going through all these symptoms that might or might not be uncomfortable, if they're uncomfortable, all we need to do is meditate and embrace and be happy about it. Like, whoa, what's gonna happen? Oh, I'm spinning. Wow, this is cool. Oh man, I'm driving in the movie. Whoo, this is fun. Like if you develop that type of attitude instead of going like, oh, then the whole process is easy. Right now, symptoms are in my personal experience, symptoms are less, but I became aware of more abilities of my own, and also people around me are telling me, oh my God, I've become aware of new abilities. So that's really exciting. And some people who went through the symptoms, I've heard that they're having spontaneous kundalini movement and spontaneous pineal gland activations in the middle of the night when they wake up and they are experiencing themselves as a multidimensional being in many different locations at the same time. So that's the blockages are just getting removed, and our energetic forms are getting adjusted so that we could experience that new earth, the new timelines. Yeah, the new timelines, uh, we are the creators of that. There's so much desire for us for merging or stepping back into a natural self. We were conditioned out of our natural state of being. Our natural state of being is telepathic communication, is peace and love and joy and knowing yourself as that beautiful multidimensional being of love. That's what we're made of, is love. And we got conditioned out of it. So now we are slowly moving back into that, and we are also creating the environment that's going to be conducive and supportive of that type of beings and that type of living. And well, it's a slow process, but they say God is slow and people are impatient.
Yeah.
So we're moving at our own pace, but things have been moving way faster recently than before. That's for sure. So we are on expedited timeline for upgrades. That's a given. Used to be what took a couple years now takes a couple weeks, and we're really not getting much of a break. As soon as we're done, oh my God, the symptoms are over. I feel, I started all over again. So it would take like a day or two, and then it starts all over again, and off we go to the next level. And
Yeah.
it's exciting. It's a beautiful process. So yay.
Yeah.
Super, super awesome, super fantastic.
Yeah,
Great,
so you
great, great
seem
time to
pretty,
live.
right, absolutely. You seem pretty positive in your thinking. You want other people to think positive. Do you see a positive future for humanity, or what do you see in as far as the future?
Most definitely. I most definitely see the positive future for humanity. Yes, I am positive because I am a happiness coach, and I fully embody what I teach. I embody every practice that I share. I embody the mind frame that I share, and I live it. I am. People tell me I'm the happiest person they know. So yeah, I am very happy. It doesn't mean that you don't receive various events in your life that a lot of people would go into drama for, but you don't have to do that. It's like your attitude determines where you are,
Yeah.
and I definitely see the positive outcome for humanity, for planet Earth. Why? Because what we're going through right now is everything is amplified. So the dark side is amplified as much as the light side is amplified. This is a free will universe. So the dark has existed all along. But when we bring our attention more to the light, when we bring change our lifestyles into high vibrational lifestyles, and we focus on the positive, the dark does not have a chance. We don't have to go fight it. We don't have to create opposition or resistance or war or any of that. All we need to do is focus on the positive within ourselves, and then spread that, and then the people around us become the same way, and that just spreads like a wave of light and a wave of positive emotion, and a wave of high vibrational living. And when you're in that state, you're not interested in drama, you're not interested in suffering, you're not interested in supporting angry causes or supporting the war. And the less we support that, the less chance it has to survive.
Right.
So it's again, it's a slow process, but we're moving in that direction for sure. Most definitely. So yes, I do see happy future here. We're also supported by galactic forces. We're supported by cosmic energies. Planet Earth is moving onto a whole different level. Whatever we might experience in the meantime, there's a lot of stuff on the news. I don't watch the news, but I hear people say there's a lot of stuff. of the negative. It's all like a pimple. It's all coming up to burst and be gone. So
Yeah.
that's gonna probably amplify for a little bit until we can move on.
Right.
And so everything is going to change. The politics are going to change. The way people interact with each other, the way people relate with each other, the way people work, all of that is going to change. Health is going to change. I mean, look at how people are eating. People are learning to eat stuff that's actually good for them. Look at all the movement that we have now against negative practices, and all of that is going to uh, take root and grow into this whole new beautiful reality. So yes, I am most positive that that's where we're going, and yay, let's go. And the
I'm
more
with
you
you.
do for yourself, the more if you want to change the world, you change yourself. The more you change and the more you disengage from old energy, from old patterns, from old ways of drama and negative emotion and suffering and all of that, the more you disengage from that and the more you engage in self-love and positive outlook on things, the more you influence things. So it's all like one person at a time, becoming a part of a bigger picture.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Isabella, thank you. I feel like we've covered a lot in this short time. Like you say in the comments, I'll put your website if people are interested in looking you up, and links to your article so they can read that as well if they haven't had a chance to do that. So I just want to thank you very much for your time. It's been very good, very informational, and let's keep going forward, as you say.
That's right. Keep moving into the light. Love you, Tiffany. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's a blessing, and I appreciate this opportunity. Talk to you soon.
Very good. Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.